Welcome to the Pipnotic Symposium for the 30th of September 2019. Members, if you haven't already done so, please log in to the members section and grab the product key for October. So tomorrow all keys will be updated. Please grab those. Today we're going to look at Bitcoin. And we're going to look at Bitcoin because, as we mentioned a couple of weeks ago, we thought the price is going to move lower. And we said that there's no reason to buy Bitcoin at the moment. And today I'm going to show a little bit in more detail about why it's not a good idea to buy Bitcoin just yet. And this is focusing on the distribution of Bitcoin American dollar liquidity in the marketplace, which is what a price chart essentially is. So if we look at this, go to the weekly charts, we have some clarity. Where do we have consumed supply and demand? Let's have a look. So we had this was an area that was tested a few times, once, twice, three times, and then price sat on it, and then it moved through it. Okay, so price moved through it, and this is the area that did it here. So price moved through it. This is the one that did it. And now if you look at this one, well, this is the area of demand that consumed this supply. So we're going to mark this off here, and this is the one that's currently in play. Price has not been back there. Software's already marked this off for us. It's just telling us that this is a fair price. This is value for the Bitcoin American dollar. When price returns to here, we can expect that there'll probably be some people that will begin to accumulate Bitcoin. If we look further down, we want to look for areas that were tested multiple times. So let's have a look. We have, for example, price rallies. It goes up, comes down, it tests, and then it finally goes down. Okay, so we want to look for, so we have our demand here, tested once, twice, and then the last time price sat on the area consuming the liquidity here before it finally cut down. So we want to look for these areas of supply and demand that are responsible for consuming opposing supply and demand. And so this one here consumed this one here consumed this one. And if we look higher, we can see that we have this here, tested. This was an area of supply. Why is it supply? Well, it's supply because we had this little, this is micro supply. And I refer to micro supply because we can't see the detail on this time frame. So micro just tells you that we're on the smaller time frame. So we had this little pattern where price came down, accumulated, it popped up, it went up. And so this area in here is responsible for consuming this one here, and this one here is responsible for consuming this one here. So we'll remove those. This one has been tested once, and on the second time it cut through it. And so you want to find the candle that left quickly in the form of either green candles like these, or gaps, or in some way strong moves that cut through this area. And you can see that we have a gap just here. So this is a gap. This week closed, it opened here. It closed slightly lower, but in the meantime went up, it went down, then it closed slightly lower, and then it moved up and high, and then we managed to cut through, and we actually returned to this just here before returning lower. Okay, so I mean this one is gone, the area that removed it, and this one is here. So this one's gone now. Another area that's interesting is this one here, how price managed to move down. We sat just above the beginning of the buy zone. A really great area that I'd like to buy at is here. And this is good because this is my area to buy Bitcoin, and this is the case because this huge move was pulled back to this low here before it left. Okay, so we had sideways price movement, price gapped up, the slingshot was pulled back, and then it was released, and we fired up here. And this is where we reached the all-time highs. This is where this whole move originated from. So this is where we want price to go back to before we start to buy. That said, we do have valid areas of supply that have formed above price. Okay, so we have this one here. We have this something down here. It's not very clear on the weekly chart. It doesn't look very good. So we're going to have a look on the smaller time frames just to refine it a little bit. But you can see we have this one here. We have a small continuation pattern here. And here we have a parent-child relationship. The parent, the child. So we'll mark off the bottom one. So about right there. And price moved away. We have this one just below. But notice on this one, let me turn off the software so we have to do these things by ourselves. False. Go. Like that. You can see that we had test, test, release. So this is not demand, this is a reaction to demand. Demand being here. We had two tests, once, twice. So at the 500 on the money, this is an interesting area. But notice that we did here, we had some highs, some price points. That's an ugly one. Let me change that. So we had these highs here. They were tested once, twice, then price managed to rally up, accumulate, and then depart. And these have been tested, and so this could be also a price-sensitive area, just here. What I prefer about this is that this whole move here originated from down here. So I'd feel more keen on getting involved down here. Alternatively, we had a lot of sideways price movement. Let's have a look. So we had this, that's gone. We had this, which is gone. Tested once, twice, three times. And this area down here is responsible for cutting through this. So this is gone. This one did it. I'm just going to mark stuff like that so you can see it. This one's gone. The one that did it is this one here, okay? Or this one here. Price went up, had to go a little bit deeper. The retracement down to this area managed to move through it. So what does that mean? Well, that means the beginning of the buy zone is the lowest low since the departure, which is here, which is at the, oh, that's difficult to see. Okay, I can't see what it is. Let's have a look. Boom. The 49.05. Okay, so that's where we're looking now. This is a pretty, this is the beginning of the buy zone here. So if we move that down to here, we kill this. This one's gone now as well. What's this? 49.05. That's a nice area there. And better yet is the one down here. So let's go to the smaller time frames, 4 hour, and have a look at this. You can see how price just wriggled higher and lower, higher and lower. And notice that we had some tests. Testing, price moved above. So we have different areas of value. First of all, we had a lower area of value, and then we had one above it. And then price poked away, and it left from about this area here. Okay, so price moved above. Here we left this area of value. We came up, we went sideways, we pulled back, and then we moved high, and then we popped away. So this is somewhere in here is an interesting area to buy Bitcoin. If we have a look lower, what do we have? We have a lot of interesting stuff there. This is interesting, but I mean, here you need to focus on the areas that are responsible for consuming opposing liquidity. So if we have a look here, where are the highs? They're here. So we had, I mean, this is a very interesting area here. Okay, so the 4100-ish area. And if we look a little bit lower, we can see that this is an amazing area to buy, because this is where this whole move that we looked at earlier originated from. This whole move here originated from this price level here. What does that mean? That means there are buyers engaging from about the 3,000 and down. That's a really that's a discount price for Bitcoin. But we do have these areas of demand to get past before we're going to get to that very low price around the $3,000. We do have the around the 4,100 to the 4,200, and we do have the 4,905 area just above that. So we have a couple of areas that we can watch. Good. If you like this video, subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions or comments, please type them into the comments and I will get back to them as soon as I can. Thanks for watching.